Merry Christmas, Uncle. Here you are.
Thank you, my son. Bless you. Here, take this fresh turkey for your family.
Is it wrong to give your uncle something for
son.
Christmas?
Bless you. Here,
Is it
take
a
this
sin
fresh
to
turkey for
accept
your family.
meat from your own blood? Chike didn't think so. He handed his uncle Christmas money with a clean heart
Here you are.
and collected the goat meat the old man smilingly pressed into his hands. 3 days later, his business collapsed. His health failed. His luck dried up. And his name turned to dust. All because he ate the Christmas goat meat from the same uncle who murdered his father. Chike was only 6 years old when he learned how dangerous families could be. His earliest memory was the night his father, Obina, died suddenly. So suddenly that the village still whispered about it. People said, "How can a strong man sleep and never wake up? He was healthy yesterday. What happened?" Only Chukwu knows. But Chike's mother, Urena, knew. She never said it with her mouth, but her eyes always followed one person, Okafor, her husband's junior brother, a man whose heart carried envy like blood, a man whose smile never reached his eyes, a man who wanted everything his elder brother had: land, respect, farmland, even the name. And on that night, the night Obina died, Okafor stood beside the body too quickly, too ready, too calm, too dry-eyed. But no one questioned him. He was family. 2 seasons later, Chike's mother, too, died. Her heart simply gave up. The villagers mourned, but they did not help. In their eyes, Okafor was the natural guardian. He took Chike into his compound, but not as his son. More like a stray dog he was forced to accommodate. Chike slept on a raffia mat near the kitchen. He fetched water before sunrise. He washed Okafor's children's clothes. He carried heavy firewood that bent his small back. But he endured. Because even as a child, Chike believed tomorrow could be better. It was Auntie Inkem, a distant relative, who visited the village one Harmattan morning and found Chike sweeping Okafor's compound with shivering hands. She asked gently, "Why is this boy suffering like this?" Okafor laughed. Suffering? He is learning responsibility. But Auntie Inkem wasn't fooled. The next month, she took Chike with her to Onitsha, promising Okafor that she would train the boy. Okafor agreed too quickly. Good riddance, he thought. Let the boy go and struggle in the city. Let him die there, just like his father. After all, the native doctor had promised, if you kill the father, the child will never rise. But something stronger than Okafor's evil pushed Chike forward. Destiny. In Onitsha, Chike discovered 2 things: work and mercy. Auntie Inkem placed him in her husband's spare shop to learn phone accessories business. Chike worked with the hunger of someone who had tasted suffering too early. He swept, he carried goods, he memorized prices, he learned how to talk to customers. Within 3 years, customers were calling him Young Master. 5 years later, he opened his own small kiosk. 10 years later, he had 3 shops. Okafor's children, still in the village, still struggling, still depending on their father. Whenever Chike sent money home, Okafor would hiss, "This boy, so he is doing better than my own sons? God forbid." But he still collected the money, because evil eats anything, even what it hates. Then came the Christmas that changed everything. Chike returned home for the first time in many years. He came with Amarachi, the woman he wanted to marry. Beautiful, calm, prayerful, the opposite of Okafor in every way. The village rejoiced. Women whispered, see how this boy has become a big man. Okafor forced a smile. You are welcome, my son. But inside, he was burning. Chike entered the compound with gifts, drinks, wrappers, foodstuffs, and 150,000 naira cash for his uncle. Okafor shook his head slowly. So you have this kind of money, and my children are still trekking? God forbid. That night, Okafor brought out a calabash and nodded wickedly. The time has come. The next morning, before Chike and Amarachi left for the city, Okafor presented them with a harmless Christmas gift, a goat and a bag of dried goat meat. He said, "This is for you, my son. Eat it with your wife. It is from my heart." Chike smiled. No suspicion, no fear. He took it with gratitude. Amarachi accepted it too, but something inside her spirit shivered. She didn't say anything. She didn't want to embarrass her husband, but she felt it. Something was wrong. As they drove back to Onitsha, Amarachi watched the bag of meat quietly. Chike noticed. "You don't like goat meat?" he teased, but Amarachi forced a smile. "No, it's not that." She couldn't explain it, not yet, until the new year began and their world began to fall apart. The new year arrived with fireworks and hope. Chike and Amarachi prayed together at midnight, thanking God for success and a new beginning. But unknown to them, a different prayer was happening in the village, a dark one. Inside Okafor's hut, he knelt before a clay pot filled with blood. The native doctor beside him nodded. "He has eaten the goat meat?" Okafor snapped. "His wife cooked it yesterday." The native doctor clapped his hands sharply. "Good. That is the connection point. His destiny will begin to follow your command." Okafor couldn't hide his excitement. "So everything he owns will fall apart?" The native doctor nodded slowly. "And return to you." Okafor's laughter filled the night. On January 3rd, Chike woke up to a strange silence. His phone, usually full of orders and messages from customers, was blank. No calls, no orders, not even a good morning text from suppliers. He shrugged it off. "Maybe it's too early," he told Amarachi. But something tugged at her spirit. A warning. At the shop, the first customer came in around 10 a.m. The man walked around, picked up 2 phone chargers, then left without buying anything. Then the next customer did the same, and the next, and the next. By 3 p.m., Chike had not sold even one item. He stood outside, confused. "This has never happened before," he murmured. His workers exchanged worried glances. One of them whispered, "Oga, this one no be ordinary. Business no dey buy like this in one day." Chike forced a smile. "Don't worry, tomorrow will be better." But tomorrow was worse, and the day after that was a disaster. In 1 week, a container of goods he ordered was seized for no reason. A supplier accused him falsely of owing money. A loyal customer suddenly started buying from someone else. 2 of his staff quit on the same day without explanation. A strange fever began to attack him at night. Chike sat on his couch one evening, sweating and shivering at the same time. Amarachi rushed to him. "My husband, what is happening to you?" Chike shook his head weakly. I don't know. Everything is falling. Amarachi, everything." He broke down crying. The strong man who built his life from nothing was now collapsing. Amarachi pulled him close. "Don't give up. God will fight for you." But she could feel it. This was not ordinary. Something had been done. Someone had done it. That night, Amarachi had a dream. She was standing in a dark place. Chike was lying on the ground, weak, shaking. A black goat with red eyes stood beside him, chewing slowly. Behind the goat stood a shadowy man holding a bag of money. He whispered, "I gave it to him, so everything belongs to me." The man lifted the money. Blood dripped from it. Amarachi woke up screaming. Chike jumped up. "What happened?" She was shaking violently. I saw something terrible." But she couldn't speak. Not yet. Not until she was sure. The next morning, Amarachi went to the kitchen to dispose of the remaining goat meat. But when she opened the nylon bag, she froze. There was a mark on one of the bones. A carved symbol. A small circle with 3 lines dripping down. She gasped loudly, "Chike, come and see this." He ran into the kitchen. "What is it?" She pointed. Chike's heart dropped. "I've seen that symbol before. I can't remember where, but I've seen it." He touched the carved bone and immediately felt a shock run up his arm. He jumped back. "What was that?" Amarachi stepped away from the meat. Her voice was trembling. "My husband, something is wrong. This meat, this goat, it is not ordinary. Your uncle gave you this." Chike staggered backward. "No, Amarachi, my uncle? He's old. He can't..." Amarachi cut him off sharply. "Do not defend him. Look at what's happening to you. Look at what you ate." Her voice cracked emotionally. "Chike, your downfall started right after the Christmas visit. The meat, the money, these are not coincidences." Chike fell to his knees, holding his head. "No, Amarachi, why would he want to hurt me?" She knelt beside him. Her voice turned soft. "My husband, there is something you are not seeing yet." Chike looked into her eyes. "What?" Amarachi swallowed hard. "Your uncle killed your father." Chike froze completely. His breath stopped. His hands trembled violently. "What did you say?" Amarachi continued. "This attack, this evil, it is from someone who knows your foundation, someone who hates your rising, someone from your bloodline." Tears rolled down Chike's cheeks. "My uncle killed my father?" Amarachi held his face gently. "I am telling you what my spirit has been screaming since Christmas." Chike shook his head slowly. "No, no, no." But deep inside, he knew. Something inside him broke open. Something he had been ignoring since childhood. Something he had seen in Okafor's eyes. Hatred. Amarachi stood up firmly. "We must go to the village. This cannot continue. We must pray. We must fight. We must break this thing." Chike wiped his tears. His voice was weak but determined. "Okay, we go. We face him." Amarachi nodded, her eyes sharp, her spirit ready, because she knew this battle was not ordinary. This was blood against blood, and only truth could set her husband free. Chike did not sleep that night. He stared at the ceiling until morning, his mind spinning like a broken wheel. His wife's words echoed in his chest. "Your uncle killed your father. This attack is from your bloodline." He didn't want to believe it, but the pain in his chest, the downfall in his life, and the symbol carved in the goat bone, everything pointed in one direction: Okafor. As dawn broke, Amarachi finished packing their bags. "We leave today," she said. Chike nodded weakly. "I'm ready." But in truth, he wasn't. He was afraid of what he would find, afraid of what he would hear, afraid of what had been done to his destiny. Yet he knew running wouldn't solve anything. The battle had been brought to him. Now he had to take it back to where it started. The road to the village felt longer than usual. At every checkpoint, Amarachi prayed silently. Chike looked out of the window, holding the carved bone symbol in a nylon bag. "This symbol," he murmured. "I have seen it before. I swear I have." Amarachi placed her hand on his. "You will remember when the time is right." Chike nodded, but goosebumps rose on his arms. As they approached the village entrance, his stomach tightened. Something in the air felt heavy, older, dark, like the land itself was expecting him. As their car drove into Chike's compound, the villagers gathered. "Chike, our city son is back." Some clapped, some smiled genuinely, some whispered quietly. But one person did not come out to greet him. Okafo. He stayed inside his hut, pretending not to notice. His wife, Mama Ogoli, came out with a fake smile. "Ah, Chike, my son, welcome. Amarachi, welcome, oh." Chike forced a polite smile. "Good afternoon, Mama." She avoided looking at him directly. Amarachi observed quietly. Her spirit felt something crawling in the air. A lie, a secret, a wound. Chike walked to the small hut where he lived as a child. He touched the wooden door gently. "This was where I slept," he said. Amarachi touched his shoulder. "You suffered, my husband." He nodded slowly. "I thought it was normal. I thought hardship was my destiny." She whispered, "No, your destiny was attacked." Chike turned toward Okafor's house. The door opened, and Okafor stepped out. Their eyes met. A long, heavy silence fell between them. Okafor forced a smile. "Chike, you came again so soon." But his eyes carried fear. Chike looked him straight in the face. "I came for answers." Okafor swallowed. "Answers about what?" Chike's voice cracked with emotion. "About my father." Okafor's face stiffened for a moment. Just 1 second. But Amarachi saw it. She stepped closer to Chike. "My husband, let us talk inside." Chike nodded. Inside the parlor, silence sat between them. Okafor looked uncomfortable. He kept adjusting his wrapper. His eyes darted around the room. Chike spoke first. "I gave you Christmas money." Okafor smiled shakily. "Yes, my son. Thank you. You are a good child." Chike continued. "And you gave me goat meat." Okafor nodded slowly. "Yes, a gift. Meat from my heart." Amarachi stepped forward. "What heart?" "The same heart that hates your own brother's child." Okafor's face fell. "What are you saying, woman?" Chike opened the nylon slowly and brought out the bone. "This was inside the meat you gave me," he said softly, with a symbol carved on it. For a flash, just a flash, Okafor's eyes widened in fear, but he quickly covered it. "That is nothing. Maybe the goat was injured." Amarachi stepped closer. "Goats do not carve symbols into their bones." Chike's voice broke. "Uncle, what have you done to me?" Okafor stood suddenly. "Leave my house, both of you." Chike stood too. "Not until you tell me the truth." Okafor's voice rose. "I owe you no truth. I fed you. I trained you." "You enslaved me," Chike interrupted, shaking. "You starved me. You hated me. Now my business is gone. My life is falling apart. Uncle, what have I done to deserve this?" Okafor's chest rose and fell aggressively. His voice dropped to a dangerous whisper. "You dared to rise." Chike froze. Amarachi gasped. And in that one confession, the truth began to crack open. But this was only the beginning. Suddenly, a strong wind blew inside the house, even though the windows were closed. The carved bone in Chike's hand heated up. He dropped it with a scream. It rolled across the floor and stopped at Okafor's feet. Okafor jumped back like something bitten him. Amarachi's eyes widened. "My husband," she whispered. "That symbol knows its owner." Chike looked at Okafor. "Uncle, what are you hiding?" Okafor's lips trembled. Fear crawled across his face, and he whispered, "You should never have come back." Okafor's words hung in the air like smoke. "You should never have come back." Amarachi stepped forward, her voice steady. Why, Papa Okafor? What is in this village that you don't want him to see? Okafor avoided her eyes. He reached for the door, his hands shaking. Both of you leave now. Chike grabbed his uncle's arm. You will not push me away this time. Not today. Okafor snatched his arm back. Something in his eyes changed. Fear swallowed by anger. Anger swallowed by darkness. You want the truth? Okafor whispered. Truth will destroy you. Chike felt coldness crawl across his skin. My life is already destroyed, he said softly. Okafor laughed bitterly. You don't know anything. Amarachi stepped closer. Then tell us. For a moment, Okafor stared at them in silence. Then something snapped inside him. Follow me, he barked. He stormed out of the house, walking fast. Chike and Amarachi exchanged a tense glance and followed. Okafor led them behind his compound, past his cassava farm, past the mango tree, toward the thick banana bushes at the edge of the land. Amarachi felt chills. Chike, be careful, she whispered. Chike nodded. His heart was pounding loudly inside his chest. Okafor pushed aside banana leaves until a narrow path appeared. They followed him through the path like people entering a forbidden place. The air changed. Heavy, thick, older than the land. Then they reached it. A small clay hut, hidden so deep behind the banana trees that no one could see it from the compound. A shrine. Chike's breath stopped.
Okafor unlocked the door with a rusty padlock and stepped inside. Chike and Amarachi followed. The room was dark, smelling of palm oil, smoke, and dried blood. On the ground were a carved wooden tray, 3 black calabashes, dried feathers of a fowl, a red cloth stained deeply, cowries arranged in a circle, a clay pot filled with something black and thick. But one thing froze Chike completely. Hanging on the wall was a faded picture of his father. Chike staggered backward. My father, his picture, why? Okafor didn't answer. Instead, he walked to the clay pot, dipped his hand into something black, and lifted out an object wrapped in cloth. He unwrapped it slowly. Chike screamed. It was his father's wrist bead, the one he always wore. Amarachi gasped loudly. You kept this? Why? Okafor's voice cracked. I needed it. Chike shook violently. For what? Okafor finally faced him. For the first time, his eyes were naked with guilt. For the ritual, the one that took his life. Amarachi covered her mouth. Chike froze. Then Okafor whispered, I killed your father. Chike fell to his knees. No, no, no. Okafor continued, voice trembling. I was the junior brother. He had everything. Land, respect, children, position. Me, nothing. He wiped his face. So when the native doctor said I could take his star, I did what I had to do. Chike shouted, voice breaking. You did not have to kill him! Okafor slammed his fist on the clay pot. Yes, I did! Because he was blessed more than me. Because people loved him more than me. Because you were born with a brighter destiny than my own sons. Chike cried, shaking uncontrollably. You killed him, and you killed my mother too. Okafor looked away. She was too weak to survive without him. Amarachi stepped toward the clay pot. Papa Okafor, what of the goat meat you gave us? Okafor stared at her. That was the final key. Chike looked up. Final key for what? Okafor's voice dropped to a cold whisper. To transfer your destiny to my first son. Amarachi gasped. Chike almost collapsed again. Okafor continued. The money you gave me, I took it straight to the shrine. Your goat meat was used to tie your luck. Your name was written with chalk. Your picture burned. Your star was called forth. He pointed at a burnt paper on the floor. Chike picked it up with trembling fingers. It was his own picture, half burned. His tears fell on it.
Suddenly, the clay pot began to vibrate. A low hum filled the hut. Okofer jumped back. No, this should not be happening now. Chike and Amarachi stared as the pot shook violently. A small flame rose from the black liquid. Amarachi screamed, "Chike, we must leave this place now." But Okofer cried out, "You fools! You coming here has opened the ritual again. The spirit is awake." Chike grabbed Amarachi's hand. "Run!" As they rushed out of the hut, a violent wind tore through the banana trees. Leaves flew everywhere. A deep moaning sound rose from the shrine, the voice of a spirit disturbed, angry, hungry. Okofer fell to his knees, beating the ground. "It's my fault. I should never have brought you here." Chike shouted, "You will answer for what you did." But Okofer screamed back, "Not now. If you don't close that ritual, it will swallow your life completely." Amarachi grabbed Chike's arm. "My husband, this battle is no longer natural. You need deliverance, deep deliverance." Chike looked at her with tears. "Then help me. I don't want to die like my father." Amarachi held his face gently. "You will not die, but we must go to someone who can break this." She looked back at the shrine. Smoke was pouring out of it. A dark presence was rising. Chike whispered, "It's coming for me." Amarachi gripped his hand tightly. "Not while I am here. We leave today. God must fight for you." The smoke rising from Okofer's shrine followed Chike and Amarachi as they ran out of the banana bush. It curled in the air like a living serpent, stretching, sniffing, searching. Amarachi tightened her grip on her husband's hand. "Chike, don't look back." But he did, and what he saw made chills crawl through his bones. The shrine door was shaking violently, like something inside wanted to break free. Okofer knelt on the ground, screaming, Go now, before it follows you." Chike's heart pounded. "Before what follows me?" But Amarachi didn't let him stay to find out. She dragged him toward the car. "We must leave this village now. We must find a prophet before this thing enters your life completely." Chike nodded, breathless. He had seen evil. He had touched it. Now he was running from it. As they drove away, Amarachi began to pray loudly in Igbo. "Chukwu, shut every door the enemy has opened. Break every chain tied to my husband's name." Chike cried silently behind the wheel. He had buried his pain for years. He had hidden the suffering Okofer caused him. But now everything was coming out, like wounds forced open. His voice trembled as he said, "My uncle killed my father. He used my money to destroy me. Why? Why me?" Amarachi placed her hand on his shoulder. "My husband, you carry a strong destiny. Your success threatens his darkness, but Chukwu has not abandoned you." Chike nodded slowly, but the heaviness in his chest did not leave.
They arrived at Prophet Ijele's prayer ground, a small cement building surrounded by palm trees. Before they even entered, the prophet opened the door and stepped out, eyes burning with spiritual fire. He pointed at Chike. "You, the young man with a stolen star." Chike froze. Amarachi gasped. The prophet walked toward them slowly, shaking his head. "Your father was murdered. Your destiny was snatched. Your glory was buried beneath the feet of your enemy." Chike's legs weakened. He fell to his knees. Yes, it's true." Prophet Ijele continued, "And the same blood that killed your father is hunting you now." Amarachi's voice trembled. "Man of God, we saw his uncle's shrine. We saw his father's bead, his picture." The prophet raised his hand. "Woman, enough." He turned to Chike. "There is a dark pot boiling for you. There is a voice calling your name. There is a spirit waiting for your breath." Chike began crying. What must I do?" The prophet's eyes softened briefly. "You must be delivered before that shrine is fed again." He paused. "And before the month ends, or you will follow your father." Chike shouted, "God forbid!" Chike trembled uncontrollably. "Help me, sir! Please help me!" Prophet Ijele looked deep into his eyes. "You are not just fighting your uncle. You are fighting a covenant he entered before you were even born." Suddenly, thunder cracked, even though the sky was clear. A violent wind struck the prophet's compound. The prophet shouted, "Move inside! Move inside now!" Amarachi dragged Chike toward the prayer hall, but then Chike screamed. He clutched his chest. A sharp pain tore through him like a knife. His eyes rolled back. He collapsed onto the ground. Amarachi screamed, "Chike!"
The prophet placed his hand on Chika's chest. "Your uncle has returned to the shrine. He is renewing the ritual." Chika's body began to shake violently. Sweat poured from him. His breathing turned shallow. Prophet Ijele shouted, "This man's life is being dragged. Somebody get me the anointing oil." A young assistant ran and brought it. The prophet anointed Chika's forehead and chest. The shaking increased. Chike groaned loudly. It sounded like someone drowning. Amarachi cried uncontrollably. "God, please, please don't take my husband." The prophet shouted, "Amarachi, pray. Your voice is the only one his spirit hears now." Amarachi knelt beside him, laid her hands on his body, and prayed with tears. "Chike, you will not die. Your destiny will not be taken. Wherever your star is locked, I call it back by fire." The ground vibrated. Chike screamed louder. His back arched unnaturally. Prophet Ijele shouted, "It is coming out! A dark presence is leaving him! Pray, woman, pray!" Amarachi cried, "Chike, come back! Chike, don't leave me! You will not die like your father!" Chike suddenly coughed violently, then went still. Very still. Amarachi froze. "Chike! Chike! Chike!" She shook him desperately. No response. Prophet Ijele put his ear to Chike's chest. His face hardened. He looked up at Amarachi and whispered, "He is slipping away." Amarachi screamed from her soul, "No!" Chike's body lay still on the prayer room floor. Too still. Prophet Ijele pressed his hand on Chike's chest again. No movement, no breath, no sound. Amarachi screamed his name over and over. "Chike! Chike, wake up!" Her tears soaked his shirt. Prophet Ijele shouted, move back, woman! He is between worlds!" Amarachi crawled backward, trembling. Her heart felt like it was being squeezed by invisible fingers. "Between worlds? What does that mean?" she cried. The prophet pointed upward. "His spirit has left his body, but it has not entered the land of the dead. It is standing at the threshold." Amarachi shook her head violently. "No, no, my husband will not die! Chike, come back! Chike, don't leave me! You will not die like your father!"
Chike opened his eyes, but not in the prayer room. He was standing in a vast empty field, covered in mist. A cold wind brushed against his skin. He looked around, confused. "Where am I?" He saw nothing, only whiteness stretching endlessly. Then he heard footsteps behind him. Soft, slow, approaching. He turned and saw a figure standing far away. Tall, dark, silent. The figure beckoned him with a crooked finger. "Come," it whispered. But the voice wasn't human. It echoed like something calling from a grave. Chike stepped backward in fear. "No! Who are you?" The voice whispered again. "Your father could not escape me, and neither will you." Chike's heart stopped. "Father! What do you know about my father?" The figure moved closer. With every step, the fog darkened. Prophet Ijele suddenly screamed, "He is being called by the spirit that killed his father." Amarachi fell to her knees, sobbing, "God, please, please." The prophet grabbed the anointing oil again. He poured it around Chike's body in a perfect circle. "No spirit of death will cross this line." He began to pray with fire. "Any covenant from the Father's house, break. Any spirit calling his name, release him. Any destiny exchanged, restore." Thunder rumbled inside the prayer room. The lights flickered. The ground vibrated. A wind blew violently through the building, scattering papers and knocking over chairs. Amarachi's voice rose. "Chike, come back! You shall not die, not today. Your star will shine again."
In the mist realm, the figure stepped fully into view. It was not a man. It was a shadow twisted into human shape, with hollow eyes and a mouth that didn't move when it spoke. It whispered, "I have waited for you. Your uncle fed me with your bloodline. Your star belongs to me." Chike shouted, "No! I will not follow you!" The shadow stretched its long, finger-like arms toward him. "You have already eaten the sacrifice. Your name was spoken into the pot. Your destiny is tied to me." Chike fell to his knees, shaking. "No, please, God help me!" Suddenly, a soft voice echoed behind him. "Chike!" He turned. It was Amarachi. But not her body, her spirit. She appeared in a faint glow, crying, "My husband, don't listen to it. Come back. Fight!" Chike's eyes widened. "How are you here?" She smiled through tears. "My love, I called your name with all my heart, and love crosses realms you cannot see." She stepped closer and held his hands. "Chike, your father died because no one fought for him. But I am here. I will fight for you. You will not die like him." Chike sobbed. "I am tired. Everything is gone." Amarachi lifted his chin. "Your life is not finished. Your star is not finished. Your destiny is not finished. Chike, get up." Her voice thundered across the realm. The shadow screamed, "No! She cannot pull you back!" Amarachi looked at it with fire. "You have no power over my husband. His destiny belongs to God, not you." She raised her hand and shouted, "Chike, stand up and come back to me." Chike felt strength rushing into him. He stood slowly. He held Amarachi's hand tightly. "I will not die, not today." The shadow shrieked and lunged, but a bolt of blinding light struck between them. The shadow exploded into mist. Back in the prayer room, Chike's body jerked violently. Prophet Ijele shouted, "He is coming back! Amarachi, keep praying!" Amarachi cried, "Chike! Chike! Come back to me!" Suddenly, Chike coughed. His chest rose. His eyes opened. He gasped for air like a drowning man pulled from water. Amarachi screamed in joy and collapsed on his chest. "Chike! Chike, thank you, Jesus!" Chike hugged her weakly.
I saw you, in that place. You pulled me back. Prophet Eze wiped sweat from his forehead. Your wife is a lioness in the spirit. Without her voice, you would not have returned. Chike looked at Amarachi with tears. You saved my life. She shook her head. God saved you, but this battle isn't over. Prophet Eze nodded firmly, because the one who started this battle, your uncle, has just begun to receive his judgment. Night returned to the village with an unusual silence. The moon was dim, the wind was restless, even the crickets refused to sing. In Okafor's compound, his wife, Mama Ogoli, tossed on her raffia mat. Something was wrong, very wrong. She heard a faint humming sound coming from the banana bush, low, vibrating, unnatural. She sat up sharply. What is that sound? When she opened the door, a red light flashed from the direction of Okafor's shrine. She gasped, Chike! Okafor, wake up! Okafor grumbled and staggered outside, half asleep. What is it? Then he heard it. The clay pot inside his shrine was calling his name. Okafor, Okafor, Okafor. His eyes stretched wide. No, this cannot be happening now. He ran toward the banana trees with Mama Ogoli chasing after him. Okafor, wait! Where are you going? But he did not answer. He burst into the hidden shrine and froze. Mama Ogoli screamed behind him.
Inside the hut, the clay pot was boiling like hot water. Blood bubbled from the top. Cowries were shaking violently. The red cloth was on fire. The air smelled of burning flesh. Okafor shouted, This is not supposed to happen! I did not call you! I did not call you! The shrine roared in response, shaking the entire hut. The carved bone Chike had discovered earlier floated into the air and began spinning. Mama Ogoli screamed and ran backward. Okafor, what did you do? What have you done? Okafor cried out, It's the boy! That boy escaped the ritual! His spirit refused the exchange! The clay pot suddenly exploded, splashing hot black liquid on the walls. A loud scream echoed from the pot, a scream that did not sound human. Okafor fell to the ground, shaking violently. No! Don't come for me! Don't come for me! I fed you! I fed you! The spirit roared. You failed! Mama Ogoli fainted. Okafor tried to crawl toward the exit, but an invisible force dragged him backward. He screamed, Please, please, take my son! Take anyone! Not me! The shrine shook harder. The fire turned blue. The spirit's voice thundered. You killed your brother. You called me. You fed me his destiny. Now your day has come. Okafor's eyes widened with horror. No, I am not ready. I am not ready. Before he finished speaking, a violent wind struck his head, twisting his senses. He screamed so loudly the entire village heard it. Then he began to laugh. Not normal laughter, mad laughter. The laughter of someone whose mind had been torn open. His voice cracked. Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! I am the king of the dead! Come to me! Come to me! Mama Ogoli woke up and crawled away in terror. Okafor! Okafor, stop! Stop! What is wrong with you? But Okafor didn't stop. He stood up, eyes wide and empty. He tore his shirt. He beat his chest. He danced inside the burning shrine, laughing. The spirit roared one last time. Your judgment is complete.
The flame went out instantly. The shrine fell silent, but Okafor did not. He burst out of the hut and ran toward the village square, still laughing, still shouting, still calling the names of the dead.
People rushed out of their houses with lanterns. "Jesus, is that not Okafor? But why is he naked? What is he shouting? He has run mad! He has run mad!" Okafor ran around the square, pointing at people who weren't there. "Obinna! Obinna, stop! Don't chase me! I killed you! I killed you! Ha 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 ha!" The villagers gasped. Obinna? His late brother? So it was true? Okafor killed him? Mama Ogoli fell to her knees crying, "My husband! My husband!" But Okafor didn't hear. He was lost in the storm of his own wickedness. He ran into the market, overturning stalls, screaming, "I tied Chike's star! I used his money! I fed the spirit! Ha 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 ha! But it has come for me now!" Villagers shouted, "Judgment has fallen! Evil has caught him!" Children cried. Women gathered with hands on their heads. Men held torches, watching in shock. Okafor ran with the speed of a mad goat, hitting his head on a palm tree and laughing. His mind was gone, totally gone. Back at the prophet's compound, a young boy ran in, breathless. "Prophet! Prophet! Something has happened! Chike's uncle! He has run mad!" Prophet Eze nodded calmly. "It is judgment," he said. "No evil returns empty." Chike burst into tears, not from sadness, but from relief, pain, and the beginning of healing. Amarachi held him tightly. "My husband, God has fought for you." Chike cried on her shoulder. "But my father, my mother!" Prophet Eze touched his head gently. "The same God who judged the wicked will restore the righteous. Your destiny is not lost. Your star is returning." Chike wiped his tears. "I am ready for whatever comes next." Amarachi smiled. "And I will stand with you."
Night settled over the prophet's compound like a heavy blanket. But inside the prayer hall, lamps glowed brightly, casting long shadows on the walls. Chike sat weakly on a wooden bench, his face swollen from crying, his spirit shaken from the confrontation at the shrine. Amarachi sat beside him, holding his hand. Her presence was steady, like a candle that refused to go out in darkness. Prophet Eze entered the hall slowly, holding his Bible, a bowl of water, and a bottle of anointing oil. He looked at Chike with deep seriousness. "Tonight is the night everything stolen from you will return." Chike swallowed hard. "Man of God, am I truly safe now?" Prophet Eze nodded once. "You survived the shadow that killed your father. Your uncle's madness is a sign that heaven is fighting for you. But the spiritual chain is still attached. We must break it completely." Amarachi tightened her grip on Chike's hand. "We are ready." Prophet Eze placed a chair in the center of the room. "Chike, sit." Chike obeyed. The prophet poured a small circle of water around him and mixed it with oil. "This circle separates you from every ancestral covenant. Anything connected to your name will reveal itself here." He lifted his staff. "Close your eyes." Chike closed his eyes. Amarachi knelt beside him and began praying softly. Prophet Eze raised his voice. "Father, the life of your son has been tampered with. His star was buried, his destiny exchanged. But tonight, by fire, by power, by the name above all names, let there be restoration." The lamps flickered violently. A cold wind blew into the room, even though all windows were closed. Chike shivered. Amarachi gasped. "Man of God, something is here." Prophet Eze nodded. "Yes, the spirit that fed on his glory is still holding on to the last chain." He turned to Chike. "My son, something will speak today. Do not fear." Suddenly, Chike's breathing changed. Short, fast, unnatural. His fingers clenched, his head tilted backward. A deep growl came from his chest. Amarachi screamed, "Chike!" The prophet shouted, "Do not touch him! This is the spirit that was tied to his father's death." Chike's voice changed, dark, heavy, almost unrecognizable. It laughed, a chilling, wicked laugh. "You think you have won?" The voice growled. "This boy belongs to us." Amarachi burst into tears. "No, my husband belongs to God." The spirit snarled. "He ate our sacrifice. His star was paid for. He is ours." Prophet Ijele struck the floor with his staff. "Liar! You fed on his father. You fed on his blessings, but you will not feed on him." Chike screamed. His body arched backward violently. Prophet Ijele shouted, "Who sent you? Confess and be destroyed." The spirit growled, "Okafor. He brought the boy. He gave him to us. He exchanged him for his own son." Amarachi cried harder. The spirit continued, "We took the father. We claimed the son. We almost pulled him today." "Enough!" Prophet Ijele roared. He poured anointing oil on Chike's forehead. Chike screamed again. Smoke rose from his skin, not burning, but spiritual residue leaving him. The spirit shrieked, "Stop! Stop! He is ours! His star is ours! His destiny is ours!" Prophet Ijele lifted his voice. "By the power of the Holy Ghost, release his destiny." He struck the ground again. Thunder shook the building. The lamps went out. Darkness swallowed them. Amarachi screamed, "Jesus!" Prophet Ijele lifted his staff. A burst of light filled the room, a bright white flash, and then silence. Chike's body dropped to the ground. Amarachi rushed to him. "Chike! Chike, talk to me!" He opened his eyes slowly, weak, trembling, but conscious. I saw something," he whispered. The prophet knelt beside him. "What did you see, my son?" Chike blinked slowly. "I saw a hand, a bright hand. It was holding my star, small, like a shining seed." Amarachi gasped. "What happened?" Chike gave a small, trembling smile. "It placed the star back into my chest." Prophet Ijele closed his eyes in relief. "It is done. Your star has returned. Your destiny is restored." Amarachi hugged her husband tightly, crying tears of joy. Chike shook his head, overwhelmed. "I feel light, like something heavy has been removed from me." The prophet nodded. "That heavy thing was a spiritual cage your uncle built for years, but now it is broken." He pointed to the door. "And the one who built the cage is facing his judgment even now." Morning came with noise, a kind of noise the village had never heard before. Children were screaming. Women were gathered with hands on their heads. Men were chasing after someone running through the square. It was Okafor, barefoot, naked waist, eyes wide like a man who had seen the end of the world. He ran into the middle of the village market, shouting words nobody expected to hear. "Obina! Obina, leave me alone! I killed you! Yes, I killed you! Ha ha ha! Come and carry me now!" The market froze. People dropped their baskets. Palm wine gourds rolled on the ground. Tomatoes spilled everywhere. A woman screamed, "Jesu, he has confessed." Another shouted, "So he killed his brother?" The elders rushed to the scene, but Okafor was not done. He climbed on top of a wooden stool and pointed at the empty air. "You think I don't see you? You are there. Your eyes are there. Your hand is dragging me." He fell down and rolled on the dusty floor, laughing and crying at the same time. "Take me, take me. Don't leave me here. I am finished." Villagers whispered, "This is punishment. Blood has cried. Judgment has fallen." Mama Ogoli knelt and wailed, "My husband, my husband. What have you done to yourself?" But Okafor didn't even recognize her. He jumped up, slapped her, and shouted, "You are not my wife. You are the pot. You are the pot that wants to swallow me." The villagers pulled Mama Ogoli away before he hurt her again. The whole village was in chaos. Then someone shouted, "Chike is coming." Eyes turned toward the dusty road. Chike and Amarachi approached slowly, Prophet Eze beside them, villagers clearing a path. Chike's heart felt heavy and light at the same time, like a wound healing and bleeding together. When Okafor saw him, he froze. His laughter stopped instantly. His eyes widened with fear. He began crawling backward like a frightened animal. No, don't come near me. Don't touch me. Your father is here. I see him. He is behind you." The villagers gasped. Chike stepped closer. His voice was quiet, not angry, not vengeful, just tired. "Uncle, why did you do it?"
Okafor screamed. "Because you were shining. You and your father were shining, and my own children were nothing. Nothing!" He beat his chest repeatedly, crying like a child. "I took your star. I took your father's star. I used your money to renew the charm. I tied your name in the pot. I gave you meat that carried your destiny. I did everything, and now he has come for me." He pointed at the empty sky. Obina, your son is here. Take him, not me. Take him." Chike shook his head slowly. "No, your battle is no longer with me." Okafor screamed, "I am seeing fire. Fire is chasing me. Someone help me." He ran into the village well, then out again, then rolled on the ground. He didn't know where he was running to. He no longer knew earth from sky. He was gone. Totally gone. The villagers backed away in fear. Prophet Eze stepped forward. His voice carried authority. "Your wickedness has found you. Your judgment is complete. No one can undo it." Okafor screamed one last time. "He is dragging me! Obina is dragging me! No!" He fainted. Silence fell over the entire square. Even the wind stopped moving. Chike turned away and burst into tears. Amarachi held him tightly. "You are free," she whispered. "You are finally free." The villagers surrounded them. "Chike, we are sorry for everything. We didn't know your uncle was this wicked. Your father's blood has fought today." Chike wiped his eyes. "I forgive you all," he said softly, "but I will never forget this day." Prophet Eze placed a hand on Chike's shoulder. "Your battle is over, but your restoration begins now." Chike nodded, and for the first time in his life, he felt the weight leave his spirit. He was truly free.
The sun was rising gently over the hills when Chike, Amarachi, and Prophet Eze walked away from the village square. Behind them, villagers were still murmuring about Okafor's madness. Some were crying, others thanking God, and some shaking their heads in shock. But Chike felt something he had not felt since childhood. Peace. Deep peace. Warm peace. A peace that filled every empty place inside him. Amarachi held his hand tightly. "My husband, how do you feel?" Chike inhaled slowly, letting the morning breeze fill his lungs. "I feel light, like I'm breathing for the first time in my life." Amarachi smiled. "Because the darkness that followed you has been broken." Prophet Eze nodded. "Your star has returned. Your foundation is healed. Your father's spirit is at peace." Chike closed his eyes, a tear rolling down his cheek. "Father, Mama, it is finished." As they walked back to Chike's family compound, people gathered to greet him. Chike, we thank God for your life. Your father was a good man. You have survived what no one has survived. Your star will shine now." Chike greeted them one by one, not with pride, but with humility. He wasn't returning as the broken boy who once slept near the kitchen. He was returning as a man whose destiny had survived deep evil. Prophet Eze asked for a bowl of water and salt. He poured the salt into the water, stirred it, and handed the bowl to Chike. "Pour this on the ground of your father's house. It will seal the land and close every doorway your uncle opened." Chike nodded, walked to the center of the compound, and poured the water slowly. As it touched the earth, a calm wind blew across the compound. It was as if the land itself sighed in relief. Prophet Eze lifted his hand. "It is done." Before returning to the city, Chike made a promise to himself. He would rebuild his business. He would honor his parents' memory. He would not allow bitterness to consume him. He would use his testimony to help others. Amarachi looked at him with pride. "My husband, God has restored you." Chike nodded with gentle strength. "He used you to save me." She shook her head. "No, I only shouted. God delivered." They laughed softly, holding each other. For the first time in many years, Chike felt hope for tomorrow. On their way back to Onitsha, they stopped briefly at a quiet riverbank. Chike threw the last remaining piece of the cursed goat meat into the river and whispered, "No more chains, no more darkness. My future is mine again." Amarachi rested her head on his shoulder. "Our life begins now."
2 months later, Chike's business reopened. Suppliers returned. New contracts flowed in. Customers came back. Money stabilized. Peace filled his home. One day, Amarachi walked into the shop, smiling. "Chike, I have news." Chike looked up. "What is it?" She placed his hand on her stomach. "I'm pregnant." Chike froze, tears filling his eyes. "God, after all the enemy tried, you still gave me a child." Amarachi smiled. "This child will carry a star brighter than anything your uncle tried to steal." Chike hugged her deeply. "Happiness has come. My father, wherever you are, your lineage continues." Not everyone who calls you my son loves you. Not everyone in your family wants your progress. Be careful what you receive, what you eat, and what you give, because some gifts are traps. But above all, no evil can bury a destiny God has written. And so, dear listeners, this is how the story ends. A young boy who grew up in suffering, a destiny almost stolen before he became a man, a wicked uncle who thought darkness could swallow a shining star, a wife whose prayers became a sword in the spirit, and a God who never abandons his own. Chike walked through fire, but he did not burn. He entered the shadow of death, but he did not die. He faced the same evil that killed his father, but he came out alive, stronger, wiser, restored. His story teaches us something powerful. Not every enemy lives outside your home. Sometimes the person smiling with you, eating with you, calling you my son, is the same person digging the pit you may fall into. Be careful, be prayerful, and above all, mind the gifts you receive and the hands you trust. Because the greatest battles are not always fought with fists. Some are fought with food, with money, with goat meat served in the name of Christmas.
But no matter how dark the night becomes, destiny will always rise again, and no evil hand can bury the star God has placed upon your life. Thank you for watching this powerful tale on African Tales by Ijele. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more stories that teach, warn, and transform. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay wise, and may your star never fall.